How's it going, guys? Randall, aka Shizukatz here, and welcome back to the Tressa's Collectibles channel. I'm here with, of course...
What's up, guys? Mike here.
And we're going to be bringing you guys another gameplay for Tokyo Revengers, but this time we're actually going to be putting two Tokyo Revengers decks against each other. So, I'm going to be playing an 8-choice build with a lot of Takemichi Climax combos. We have the level 1 combo that allows us to top check to add 2 on the Resonance with the level 3, and the level 3 itself is somewhat reminiscent of the 3-2 Rimuru from Tensura. So, Tensura, obviously a deck that we just previously shown on the channel in our last gameplay, but not that exact build. But yeah, this combo basically allows us to loop pseudo restands into more copies of himself.
And then on my end, I'm going to be playing the boys 8 standby with the level 1 Draken and the level 3 Mikey. The level 1 Draken is a unique card in that it doesn't have an on-board Climax combo that has like an on attack effect or anything, but rather when you have the Draken Climax in your Climax zone or Climax area, the Draken gets the standby trigger in all zones. So if you trigger the Draken on an attack while you have this Climax in play, then he actually allows you to standby a character out. And then otherwise he's a 7/5 hand core if you have 5 or less stock.
Yeah, so that's sort of something that we saw in the last set, Danmachi, with the level 0 eyes. She was able to gain choice triggers
on either of the choice Climax combos for the eyes.
Yeah, and this particular Draken, he does only gain the standby trigger on his own Climax, but still, if you can get an extra standby, that could potentially be quite powerful.
And then the level 3 Mikey on play heal, and then he has a Climax combo with standby where at the end of his attack, we can pay cost to reveal the top 3 cards of our opponent's deck and send to clock characters equal to or lower the cumulative level of the power of the level 3 Mikey. So
yeah, so let's say Mikey's like 15k power, right? And then I reveal like a 5k, a 6k, and another 6k off the top. Like he can clock shoot 2 of those because they are underneath the total 15k, but not all 3 because added up they would be 17,000.
Yeah, so just whatever characters you can add up to be equal to or lower than his current power level, you can send them to clock.
Yeah, and then the rest go to waiting room, right?
Correct, the rest go to waiting room.
Yeah, so even if you reveal Climaxes, even though those are not cards getting sent to clock, you are taking them out of the deck. So even for Climaxes revealed, it essentially functions as kind of like a burn one if you have attacks still yet to come in the turn.
The Mikey does not shoot events. So events are kind of the bane of like this deck. If your Mikey reveals events, then he's kind of having a bad time. But
Danmachi players?
Yeah, Danmachi players. Well, Danmachi just feasts on this deck anyways, because like standby. So if you're playing this deck against standby, or if you're playing the standby deck against Danmachi, you're really sad.
Yeah, this is like a sort of similar thing that we saw in a Japanese set, Day I Became a God, where she also had a similar effect.
Right.
But that was based on levels rather than power, but it also did not work on events, and so it was really funny to see Day I Became a God mirror matches because both of those decks run like 14 event cards.
Yeah, the day I became a God deck, it's just like, alright, I'm going to play as many events as I can.
Yeah. Except against the mirror.
Yeah. Alrighty. Paper, scissors.
Alright. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to drop 3.
I will also drop 3.
Obviously, in choice builds, we want to get rid of those get rid of those triggers out of our hand in case we trigger early choice. But we just happen to have a whole bunch of cards that we just don't want in our hand anyway. So
he discards a level 3 Takemichi, which basically thinks that hey, he already has a Takemichi, since we do need that in hand for resonance.
No, I just have confidence that.
Okay.
I just have confidence that like
you're gonna trigger
it. Yeah.
Right, so good.
It's fine. We will definitely get that. So I'm gonna start by clocking the Timely Climax and drawing 2, and we're gonna open with Big Boy Takemichi. If we have 1 or less other characters, he gets +1 level and 2,500 power, so he is huge. And then when he gets reversed, if I have 2 less memory, I can send him to memory as well. And yeah, I think we'll just chill on that. All right.
Yeah.
So we will go in with the direct for 2.
1, 2, cancel. Draw for turn. Okay, let's go and clock this level 0 Emma to draw 2. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to start with the level 0 Mikey. going to on play clock a revenge character from my hand to top check up to 5 and add a revenge character. Okay, so I'm going to add this level 0. It's on play and on death. I can pay 1 discard one salvage. And then on play, he gets 1,000 from my opponent's characters, but that Takamichi is too big.
Oh, it is my characters. Okay.
Okay, next we'll... You know, honestly, we're probably okay with attacking ones. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I'm going to play this Emma.
And then it's time to play
And
Standby.
it's time to play Standby. So I'm going to play the Standby in the front row. This 1/1 Mikey, if it's against a cost 0 or lower character, he gets 2,500 and 1 level. And then when one of my other characters is front attacked, I can sacrifice him to give that character 2,500. The Emma, I'm going to activate her effect when I play a Climax. I can choose one of my characters and it gets on attack. I can look at up to the top 2 cards of my deck, leave 1 on top, and mill the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and direct using the Emma effect to look. And we'll mill this Emma and we'll trigger for 2.
Okay. 1, 2. Cancel.
Alrighty, here we go.
Alright, stand and draw. I'm gonna clock the Climax Swapper.
Okay.
And oh, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a second copy of Takemichi, and then I think we will just attack like this. Having only 2 characters on the board allows him to still be 4,000 power, and
chances are pretty decent that one of them does next turn.
yeah, because I don't think you're. If you have another Mikey, then potentially if you have another Mikey, or I don't remember if you ran the Hina Reiki, but like you do have cards that can clock yourself, and I'm representing 3 damage right now. But if you do not go to level 1, then one of these has a pretty good chance of blue. So we will go in for the front attack here. So I declare front.
Go ahead.
Okay. For choice. And this should be pretty telling.
Okay. Hey,
So-
more stock.
So
Cancel.
go ahead and stock the Takemichi instead of salvaging him. And then we will direct attack here for 2.
Okay. 1, 2. 2's good. Alright. Stand and draw for turn. Let's clock the level 3 Takemichi and Hina. Well, just Takemichi, but has Hina in the card. To draw 2. Okay. I could accelerate myself to level 1 right now. And it's probably worth it since I do want to start standby out level 2, so I think I will go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll play the level 0 Hina. This is the Trial Deck Riki, except in foil version. On play, pay 1, clock myself, search my deck,
Grabbing Mikey.
grabbing Mikey. And the Mikey is just a really good way to go through my deck really quickly, costlessly, and also, like I did on turn 1, it also helped me fix for color, since I didn't have a good red to clock when I first clocked for turn. There you are. And then Hina does have a second effect where I can shuffle 2 characters back, but I don't think I will. Unfortunately, I still can't kill a Takemichi, because I am only going to be attacking with level 0s here. So I can kill one, but not the other. But I will go ahead and activate his effect of being able to clock a character. So I level. And then I'm going to level this 1/1. And then top check up to 5. And add a revenge character. The Mucho. Okay. Then we'll put that here. And play a standby.
Another dragon standby.
Having a lot of those. So we'll bring out the 2/2 Smiley. He is our 2/2 of choice here.
9k hand encore twin drive, right?
Or actually, maybe we can bring out something else first. Yeah, he's 9k hand encore twin drive. Let's see. how likely are we to trigger a climax? We're out 4. And we still have 3 Drakens in our deck, I think. So I think I'm actually going to standby out something else. And then I'm going to bank on triggering another standby to bring him out in the front row. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to crash here.
Did you?
No, I'll assign the effect on Takemichi.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and front here. I'm smaller. That's for 2.
1, 2, take 2.
Okay, and then I will direct for 3.
1, 2, cancel.
Okay, and then front here with the 1/1 Takemichi on attack top check. And I'll trigger standby. Standby over the Hina, and I'll bring out the 2/2 Smiley, and that's for 2.
Alright, I'm pretty down for you to trigger a real standby instead of a Draken.
Of a Draken standby.
Because not only does that mean you're out on another climax, but
it also accelerated you to 1, right?
Hitting me for 2 here. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
What, did I say something?
No, you're good.
Alright, so when this Takemichi gets reversed, since I have 1 or less memory, he gets to go to memory. And we are going to draw for turn. Okay, what are we doing here? I am going to clock a 3/2 Takemichi.
How many do you have?
Draw 2 cards, and alright, so I want to pay out 2 stock this turn. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Mucho, use his effect on play, discarding a card. Which card will be discarded? I feel like this is a really good card in here, in this particular matchup, so I'm going to ditch. You know, I really just want the top check information more than anything, so I'm just going to ditch this, and I'm just going to get this back.
Okay.
We'll play Emma Brainstorm, and then since this is not a trigger, if it was a trigger, I would just use the Mitsuya effect to add it to my hand, and then Brainstorm after. But since it's not a trigger, we're going to go with the Emma first. So she has a top check 3, add 1 Brainstorm. So we'll go ahead and use this. And we do hit a climax, so we get to look at up to 3 cards, add 1 to our hands, and the rest to waiting room.
Nice,
so
nice.
look at 1, look at 2. So how many are we out now? We're currently out 4 in waiting room, 1. Oh, we're at 1. Then I'll look at the third one. I think as far as how my attacks are going to go this turn, I think I'm perfectly okay with siding into these 2 level 2 characters, just in order to keep my bodies on the board and take less damage next turn.
Yeah, especially since I'm playing standby. If you're out a bunch of climaxes, even if I wanted to try to do a bunch of damage, it would be hard for me to do so. So maybe you can still get a good refresh at level 1.
Yeah. So the card I'm going to add this, and then discard a Hina and a Hina.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now I still do want to pay that climax out, so we will use the Mitsuya effect blind. And I reveal the top card of my deck, and if it's a card with a soul trigger, I add it to my hand. And it's not, but
Okay. Pay that out.
yeah, that is the important part. All right. We will play the Hina. Placement doesn't really matter. I'm wondering if I care about time with the Mikey. I don't think I really care about killing the Mikey off your board.
I also think you don't care.
Yeah, because like your board, your front row next turn is just gonna be this.
And then I'll if you let it survive, I'll move it to the back row and like stand by or something anyways.
Yeah, so that card doesn't represent any real value.
You'd rather keep the Hina on board to absorb damage again.
Alright, so we will go into our attack phase, and we will just go in with some sides. So side for 1.
Sounds good.
Side for 0. And then side for 0.
Okay. Stand. And draw. So you're out 5 in the waiting room?
5 here, 1 here.
Okay. Probably another 1 in hand. So probably 1 in deck left at most. Not that we can do much about it. The most we can hope for is just Twitch Drive and hit a bunch of triggers. So we will want to clock though, because we want to get some better cards in our hand. So we clock and draw 2. That is not a better card. Those are not better cards. But it does mill me, which is good because I am also out quite a bit. I am at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I triggered one, so I think I will go ahead and brainstorm here. Brainstorm with the Emma. Whiff. And that's no problem. Do we want to standby out anything of relevance? Maybe this 2-1, but his back row doesn't really have targets for me to target quite yet. It won't really be relevant until his endgame for his 2-1. So maybe just another smiley. Yeah, can't really think of anything else I would want to encore or bring out here. Okay. Go ahead and play standby. Like Randall said, this Mikey is irrelevant.
Yep.
And then we'll go ahead and give the Emma effect to this Takemichi.
Okay.
And we're going to attack with it first, because I don't want to trigger a first stock Climax. So if we see a Climax, I'm actually going to go one deeper and choose to not trigger it. I'll look at 1, and I'll look at 2. And I'm going to mill the Climax, and I'm going to trigger for 1.
Okay, take 1.
Okay, and then I'm going to front for 1.
Take 1. Just taking this nice and slow.
Yeah,
Alright.
nice and slow.
Alright, I want to level the lowest possible power character here.
No!
So, because
you should level that an event.
yeah, so the higher average power of cards in our deck means that he has a less chance of messing with us with the Mikey in the late game.
Yeah. Alright, and then I'm going to front with the smiley. I'm not going to use Twin Drive because I do want the Climax to shuffle back, so that's for 2.
1, 2.
Right, nice and peaceful.
Take the 2, and then this Takemichi also goes to memory.
Yep. Look at you removing all those low power characters.
Yup.
Alrighty, go ahead.
Alright, so we will draw for turn. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we still do not know where the Climax is yet, the last one. Let's go with a clock.
Okay.
So I will draw 2. Alright. So these gain how much power? 3-5 power?
2-5.
No, it's 3-5.
Oh, 3-5, 3-5. 8K. They go to 8K. Sorry.
Yeah. So we are probably going to have to slam some face in, but not before we get some pretty decent compression for our first refresh. So first thing I think I'm going to do is Brainstorm. So I'll use Brainstorm.
Okay. There's that last Climax.
And then we get to just look at the last card of our deck. What? Okay, and then add that to our hand. And then
refresh 7.
Yeah, missing the level 1 Climax.
Cool, cool.
Alright.
There you go.
And then we take a refresh point. And let's see. So if I play these, how many cards do I potentially add so many cards to my hand? Oh my lord. I don't need this many cards, man.
Could just not play them. Maybe save a couple for the next turn of Climax combat.
I don't have other playables.
Or maybe, look at a bunch of cards and even if you go overhand, you get to keep the ones you want. Adding more cards gives you more selective advantage, possibly.
You know what I think I might do? I think I might actually use the combo to add cards to my hand and send triggers to waiting room. So
yeah,
that potentially allows me to get choice triggers and then send cards to stock and stockpile that way instead of going overhand. The cards I am going to be playing are 2 copies of the Takemichi and Hina combo and then
1 Baji.
1 Baji.
Okay. Cards in hand?
6.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, and then there's not really much else we can do. In terms of the damage, we do have to go in with fronts if we want to do any damage here because everything is currently level 2.
Yep, the Takamichis do get 1 level.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but it's how the cookie crumbles. Alright.
Show me that 3-2.
So you're out how many? You're out
8.
You're out 8?
Yep.
And this is just the... Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so I want to attack with...
Oh, it's the resonance activates.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so... Alright, so when the Climax is placed, I activate the resonance by revealing the level 3 Takamichi. So I reveal up to... I look it up to 2 and add up to 2. So... I guess we add this, and then for the second one... Oh no. Alright, well, this is going to be an interesting game.
Alrighty.
And then I'm going to use the effect to give the top check up to 2 on attack here.
Okay.
Maybe we can get one side attack in for 1 damage, maybe. But first...
having a board lift also allows you to, save it with the Mitsuya.
Yeah. Alright, we're going to go here first. Sure. I'm smaller for 2. Okay,
1. There you go.
Okay, so then we need to resolve the refresh point in the middle of damage because of the new refresh rules.
Yeah, so now refresh point happens immediately after refresh. It is considered the same action now. So previously you would finish whatever else you were doing, damage processing, brainstorming, etc. But now we have to automatically put that there, and then we finish taking damage. So that's 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We will front attack with the Baji for 2, 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ow. Well.
Nice. Although it does allow you to now start standbying out level 3s, so I do need to watch out for that.
We don't need blue. These other cards are better. Okay, we'll level that anyways.
Okay. Alright, considering I just did 5 damage, I am going to go with the side attack.
Sure.
I am okay with this potentially not dealing damage. So we will look at 1, we will look at 2. Alright, maybe this was a mistake.
Those climaxes.
Side for 0.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, stand.
Like our waiting room?
Oh boy.
Alright, go ahead.
Draw. Well, I want to start trying to find some of my level 3 Mikeys, but there's 2 in waiting room already. Maybe Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
So no clock.
No clock. I'm going to play the level 0 Draken Mikey and Takamichi. On play, I can pay 1, discard 1, salvage a character. So I'm going to salvage the Mikey. I'm going to leave him in the back row here, so that if I trigger standby, I can standby over him, and then not only do I get this, that standby, but also get to immediately activate his on death effect, which is also pay 1, discard 1.
You'll pay out the climax.
Which pays out the climax and also helps me salvage another Mikey. So that's what we'll do here.
Sounds good.
And then we'll just put a board like this. And attack phase.
Okay, I don't think I particularly care about saving that combo, so we're just gonna...
Okay, so we'll go ahead and dart here. That's for 3.
1, 2, 3. And then we'll go ahead and level Takamichi here.
Okay. I don't have a great desire to twin drive here, so I'm going to just direct. I would rather try to just minimize the chance of triggering more of the standbys, because I am pretty set already. So that's trigger for standby. So I could either standby out the Mikey, or I could standby out something else and then salvage the Mikey. And I think it is pretty early in the game.
What if you standby the drop salvage over the drop salvage?
I could. That is definitely an option. I don't think my board is getting challenged this turn, so I don't think I need these. Alright. Standby the drop salvage, and then I'll activate on death.
This honestly seems pretty good to me.
Pay 1, discard 1.
Because this leaves the option open of potentially doing the same thing again on a later.
So anything that is in my waiting room, this allows me to just get. Okay, so that's for 4.
4, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's
okay.
what we're talking
Now
about.
I want to twin drive just to trigger more. All right, so front I will twin drive. 1 trigger. Standby. I'm chilling.
For
So that's
3.
for 4. I trigger twice.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, take 4.
Okay, here we go.
Alright. Draw for turn. Alright, how do we want to do this? I'm going to start by clocking Akun, because you're just chilling on these 2/2s and this card is not really doing much. I now have 6 cards in deck. I'm gonna go ahead and brainstorm here.
Okay.
So
1, 2, 3.
So we see
Nice,
2.
nice.
So look at up to 3. And how many are you out?
I am out 2 in rear.
2. Oh yeah, I'll take this and then drop this. 7 going back, missing level 1 climax.
Okay.
And then I need to resolve refresh point and then continue the brainstorm resolution. Alright, refresh point. Then continue resolution. Look at 1, look at 2, look at 3. I'm gonna add this, drop these.
Okay.
Alright, next. Alright, so those are 9k.
9k.
I'm going to play a Takemichi. And I will also play the Hina. And then with 4 more revenge characters on board, I can early play the Hina. And then use her effect, sacking a character to heal to stock.
Yeah, so this is like discard here to stock, except you sacrifice a character on board, which does allow you to play multiple Hinas without playing over other characters, so that can be kind of nice.
Speaking of, we'll play another one, and then we will.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to sack. I think I'm actually going to sack Emma here.
Okay.
Because I think the Hina presents more potential threat against
My board.
your board on future turns. So I would like to have the option to save her and then reuse her next turn.
Cool.
So I'll go ahead and sack Emma. Just to put another body on board and not go overhand, I'm going to play the Takemichi. And then in Climax phase, I'm going to play the Climax, activate the Resonance ability on the level 1, reveal up to 2, add 1.
Okay.
And then we will go to attacks.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to start with a front attack with this Hina at 10-5.
Okay, no effect.
Alright. And this is going to be 4, 3, and choice. I'm going to salvage a Takemichi level 3.
Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. Cancel.
Alright.
Reversed.
Then I will front attack with this Hina.
I will go ahead and activate Takemichi, sacrificing himself, giving my Smiley 2500 power, putting him up at 11.5.
Yeah, so the idea with of attacking with the Hinas first is that if he does want to save either of these 2/2s, he has to open the lane here.
Yeah, and then he the 1/0 gets to survive.
Yeah, and I get a direct attack.
Yep.
Alright, so this is gonna be for 3, 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, then we have our direct attack for 3, 3 in choice. And I do have one more target. Our hand is full though, so I'm going to send this one to stock.
Okay. 1, 2, cancel. Okay. And hand on coring is go ahead and hand Encore. So I'm going to discard the Kazutora Mikey to hand Encore the Smiley. Just getting a bit more automatic soul pressure on the board here. I'm going to draw for turn. Okay. I'm going to not clock and activate Emma Brainstorm.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This does mean that I don't think I have a way to contest the Emma as it, or the Hina as is. Unless... Nah. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna standby out the 3-2 Mikey, and then start attacking with these lanes first, and if I trigger a Climax in any of these two lanes, I'm going to bring out the 3-2 Draken in the front row, which allows me to boost the Smiley so that he is over the Hina. So that's going to be our plan there. Play standby. Standby out Mikey.
Okay, so how many are you out now?
I am
the one
out
5 total? Including the one?
5 plus 1.
5 plus 1, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'm going to activate the Hina effect, and I'm going to
The Emma effect.
the Emma effect, and I'm going to assign it to the middle Smiley here.
Okay.
So I'm going to direct with the drop salvage, and that's for 2.
1, 2, cancel.
Okay. Then I'm going to front. I'm going to activate the top check effect first. Let's see.
Oh, before deciding if you want to twin drive, right?
Correct. I'm going to choose to mill this.
Huh.
And then I'm going to twin drive. And the reason why I decided to change my mind is because I just want to go through more deck. And triggering the Climax wouldn't actually let me... Well, actually, hold on, let's see. I could, I guess. Let's see. No, I think I just want to conserve stock for Mikey Finisher. So that's going to be the line here. So I paid 1 for twin drive.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to trigger twice. So it's no trigger, 1 trigger.
1, 2, 3, level. And then miraculously hitting experience.
There we go.
Yeah.
Alright, and then I'm going to front. Well, front.
Currently smaller.
Front. And pay 1. Twin drive. Nothing. And nothing. That's for 2.
1, 2, take 2.
Okay.
So no encore, I'm assuming?
No encore.
Right. Draw for turn. Alright, let's see. So you're out 7.
I am out 7.
Yeah.
Missing the level 3.
Methinks it might be go time. So let's see. If I play these 2, I need to discard 2, 2, a lot of 2s. I need to discard so many 2s. So I need a clock. Does it really matter what I clock? Yeah, we'll clock. We'll clock the event, because that means it gets healed off and then goes back in with the deck so that it's
Okay.
less chance for you to Mikey me. Okay.
And clocking here is no problem, because if you use Climax combo, you're going to heal it back down to 3-0.
Yep. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play our Takemichi. On play, he heals 1.
Yeah.
And then
Gotta find that Naoto.
we'll play our Naoto.
Naoto being the condition for the Takemichi to summon more copies of Takemichi. He needs to shake Naoto's hand in order to time travel.
We'll go ahead and put the Takemichi in the middle, as this opens up some pretty rude side attack lines. And
you could also get extra stock with
I'm actually going to move this up to the front. And with that, I think we're good to go. we're just going in for the kill, baby. Alright, so we will play our 1k1 Climax, Time Leap. And I believe this one was a Climax, so I want to attack with Takamichi first and pay that out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should be a Climax, so we'll go front attack.
Yep.
So the Naoto, as long as I have experience 3, he's a global level assist to all of my other characters.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Takamichi should be.
Actually, honestly, this should probably be here, I think.
I think
Because this opens up sidelines, I guess. Potentially. I don't know, maybe
I
like...
am standby though, so like I don't really have a...
I mean, you do have this, so...
This is true, this is true.
I think just like eliminating the...
But if anything, this would be the side target.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, this just gives you no options whatsoever, so... we'll just try this.
Yep.
This is, I think, pretty safe, and we'll go for this. So
Okay.
I'm going to front attack. Choice.
You generally just need more hand.
Yeah, I'm going to get hand here.
Yeah, you have more than enough stock here.
Specifically, the hand I'm going to get is the Hina.
Okay, so that's for 3. 1, 2. Refresh 7.
Missing Mikey Climax, right?
Missing Mikey Climax.
If this 3 sticks, this is going to be a lot of 3s.
Alright, so I take refresh point here.
Yep.
And then finish the 3. And I level. Let's get yellow here. Okay, I'm reversed.
Alright, so at the end of my attack, I can pay 2, discard 2, send him to memory if I have triggered Naoto. And I can choose a Takemichi from my waiting room and play it to his stage position. So we will pay 2, pays out those 2, then we will discard Takemichi, and we'll just discard the Hina, put more high power cards,
No, stop!
and then send the Takemichi to memory, bring this one out. Okay, so now I actually need to do a little bit.
He also heals.
And then he heals, right?
Yeah, he comes into play, or from the effect of the Climax combo, he heals.
Okay, so I need to do a little bit of math here. So if I... Okay, hold on. I'm just going to use this as a simulation real quick. So this, pay, third one, attack, pay, fourth one, attack.
Yeah. You always have enough stock. The issue usually is just having enough hand. Going into attack phase, as long as you have 2 stock, you can restand 5 times.
Right.
But usually it's just not enough hand because you can just discard 8.
Yeah, I think I'm 1 hand short right now, but I could potentially...
Yeah, if you trigger choice.
Trigger choice after refresh.
Yeah.
The last Takamichi's buried so far, and I don't think I can get to my deck. I don't think I can get through the rest of the deck without using the blind stock effect, so I think this one's just...
So we'll go with 4.
I think it's just not happening, yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's on like your second stock or something, right?
It's on my second stock.
Yeah, I remember you choiced it at level 0.
Yeah. So I'm going to front with this Takamichi then.
Okay.
And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to have the rest of the restands try to be after refresh, so I can just minimize the number of cards going back that aren't climaxes, and also just get the heals off after refreshing.
Yeah, sounds good.
So this will be for 2.
Okay, 1, 2. 2's good.
And then since I have a climax in play, I get to blind stock 1. And then now we'll go in with the front attack here. So this is for 3.
Okay.
This is for 3. I do resolve my refresh points.
If this 3 sticks, I'm in trouble.
You're in pretty big trouble. Alright.
Okay.
So I take refresh points. Oh, look, a Takemichi! Yo!
Alright, 3, 1, that's up.
Alright, end of attack.
Yep.
Pay 2. Discard 2. Send this one to memory. This one comes out. We heal 1. I'm going to direct attack first, since if the 3 lands, I want to be able to side this. So we will direct for 3, 3.
1, cancel. Oh, these top card cancels.
Alright, so we have to front attack here now. So we front attack for 3, 4,
Oh!
lethal.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we got him. Let's go.
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah, the power of the multiple restands. Definitely very strong.
Yeah, definitely. If you are a like Tensura 8 choice Tensura player, this has a lot of the same feel as that, being able to just like only play one copy of your combo and then have like the rest of them in your hand and just like start blasting. So
personally speaking, like a bit of like minute differences separating that combo from this combo, making me like this combo a bit more. One thing is that you really only need the Naoto on board, so like you can kind of just go in with that and then not needing to mill 2 every time the remove needs to reset, because like it's really hard to control your deck sometimes, especially if your opponent like pushed you to like almost refresh and you have like a couple of removes in rain room. If you want to do Climax combo multiple times in a row, he needs to mill so that you can lose your removes. But then all the Takemichi needs to do is just have enough hand in stock to be able to restand a bunch.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest factor for me.
Yeah. And then, but the downside, I guess, is that
the difference in costs is
you need a lot of hand. If you want to restand, or if you want to summon 4 Takemichis and then also get the last Takemichi random beater out, you need 8 hand, which is no difficult, but given the number of attacks you get, and also with help like with things like the Emma Brainstorm being able to top check, you do have a good amount of triggers in order to give yourself more chances of triggering the choice climax, so they can recoup hand. But like it takes so little stock. Like I mentioned earlier, like doing the math, as long as you start attack phase with 2 stock, you can change 4 times, which is just kind of ridiculous to think about. Since
because it's like you like attack change, attack with this, attack change, attack with this, attack change, attack with this change.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what order as long as you don't attack with this multiple times in a row. Right. These 2 attacks and then attack. So it's like, let's do a quick simulation so people can kind of visualize it better, right? So you have 2 stock, right? And then you have 3 characters. So let's say the 2 vanillas attack first, so that's 4 stock. And then a Takemichi attacks, so that's 5. You pay 2, you summon a new Takemichi, and then he attacks, and that's 4. You pay 2, you summon a new Takemichi, and then he attacks, so that's 3. You pay 2, summon another Takemichi, and then that's 2. And you pay 2, and then you summon the last dude, and then that's 1. So all you need is 2 stock, but you do need a bunch of hand.
Yeah, you need so much.
So like for example, you are at liberty to, for example, like brainstorm or use the Mitsuya to try to grab more cards. Other cards that you can consider, for example, the level 0 Hina. There's a level 0 Hina back row that is global 500 during your turn, and then it also has startup. You can choose a character or the pendant in your Weido and put it underneath her as a marker. And then also startup, the next turn you can pay 1 rest yourself to add that marker to your hand. So it can kind of like bank up an extra hand here for the next turn. So things like that help you alongside your hand size, but in general, I think like the Takemichi is just a super efficient way of dealing a bunch of swings.
Yeah, for sure. Just like the deck that we just looked at with the Baji, you do have to be careful about memory kick counters though, as this does activate at the end of the attack. So if you like swing in and then he just gets memory kicked, it's like, all right, there goes your entire chain.
Yeah, so that's why we do run a copy of the level 3 Takemichi Bouncer as well. Both of these endgames are very susceptible to memory kick counter. Honestly, this one too. If he gets memory kicked on, he also doesn't activate. But the Takemichi is easier to play around since he is only 1 roll. So like, worst case, you just direct a bunch, or like you can, find a 1 or 0 to side.
Yeah.
Or hopefully just be over since the Naoto will always be on board. So hopefully, if you have experience condition, he's 12-5.
Yeah, I do think that in this particular game, it was like slightly awkward that I was just like, oh yeah, I want to level these zeros, and then and it's like, all right, so I've leveled these zeros. Now I just gotta hit experience 3. Where's my experience? Where is it?
Yeah.
Well, we got there in the end.
Yeah, and depending on like how you want to play it or like the matchup, you honestly don't even need experience, since all Naoto needs to do is just be there. It simply exist, and then Takemichi can time travel.
He just needs to be there to shake his hand, and then it's go time.
Yeah, and then as far as and I think things went pretty well for the most part. I was kind of just setting up for my level 3, but this particular matchup, the power lines ended up really well in my favor, since the level 1 Takemichi and Hina Climax combo don't really get up to the power line of my 1/1s. So that worked out well for me. But like ideally at level 3 you want something along the lines of like double Mikey alongside a Draken, and then the back row is something like the 3-2 support. this one. So then with this setup, the Mikeys become 13-5, and then if you're really about that extra power,
Of the 2-1.
the 2-1 Naoto can give one of your characters 4-5, so putting up the Mikey at 18k. And then that's where your opponent reveals 3 level 3s.
And you're like, alright, clock shoot 1.
Shoot 1.
How much did you pay for that?
Pay 3, discard 1, resonance with another copy of itself.
Oh my
And that's
God.
why I was so adamant about trying to find like multiple copies of Mikey.
Yeah, so you
Self
could do
salvage.
like double
Because
promo
at the
while
very
having a third one.
at the very minimum you need a copy in hand, and then like realistically I could only get 2 off, anyways. But that's kind of, I think, average. I don't think you're really getting 3 Mikeys off almost ever with this deck. It's just not really realistic. But yeah, I think the big weakness of this particular standby deck, if you compare it to other standby decks, is that its power line is really small. The 2/2s are only 9k, and there aren't really great standby targets that can boost your back row or boost your power. There's no like global 1000 or anything. I think you do have like level assists, but they kind of feel underwhelming compared to just maybe so many more field counters, or if you're playing against another standby deck, you summon the 2-1 Takemichi and Mikey, which allows you to level to shrink a level, or to shrink one of your guys every turn, and then he's a measly global 500.
Yeah, definitely in this particular matchup, like if you're playing against Tokyo Revengers playing this deck, you cannot put this on the board earlier than you need to. Like this needs to only hit the board at the very last second, because otherwise your opponent plays that and it's just like, well, my end game.
But yeah, otherwise pretty effective if you need to, like shrink the 2/2 Galain to be able to contest like the 1/1 Eris or things like that. Shrink the 1/1 Kaguya support. Having an on-demand shrink is honestly really useful compared to a lot of other sets where they have like for example for Hololive, they have to really build their deck in a specific way to accommodate for the IMA shrink. This one is just like, if they see this on your board, they're going to be really afraid of just playing high value level 1 or higher cards, which I think does pretty good for this matchup's favor, but otherwise the power line for this deck is actually pretty weak. So I do think this deck is really cool though, and playing with 12 standby and just having a bunch of guys be out. Sometimes you trigger too many standbys and then your board kind of just gets a bit wonky though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it for these 2 decks. They're honestly pretty straightforward decks to play, especially the 8-choice one. If you guys like attacking a bunch of times and getting a bunch of advantages in the level 1 combo, this is definitely the one for you.
There was a point in the game where, so that turn that I played 2 combo, right? And I ended up going like Climax and then a character, and then Climax and then a character on both of them, right?
Yeah.
But I had a 3rd copy of the combo in my hand, so in theory, I could have ended that turn with 11 hand.
Yeah. The amount of advantage you can get is kind of similar to the amount of advantage that, for example, the level 1 Kotori from the other light can get you, potentially +2 per Kotori, +2 per Takemichi, except just different timings. And both of them do add events as well. Well, this one only adds that particular one.
Right?
Yeah. But that event, I do think it really helps out with the consistency of finding things you actually want, since this is just Top Check 2, and you don't really need that much stock anyways. So I think that event is a great addition to the deck. But yeah, that does it for Game 2 of our Tokyo Revengers block. Coming up, we're gonna have some hot, spicy stuff. Yeah, you've heard of 8's choice, you've heard of 12 standby, but what about 28 standby? Or 28 choice triggers in one deck. If you guys want to find out what that's all about, tune in for our next game. But until then, this has been Mike and Randall on the Tressa's Collectibles channel. I forgot what channel we were on. And we'll see you guys in the next one.